Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. Welcome to another day talking about Warhammer. Very excited today because we're going to be looking at the Slaves to Darkness White Dwarf update. That's right, STDWDU. Very easy. One more time, STDWDU. And one more time for the Twitch chat, STDWDU. We got it. Okay, it's a good start to the day. I'm officially. Hi, Guy. Hello, everyone. Ziggy, what's going on? Hope you're well. What's happening? Hi, Diadrin, MJ Pegasus. How is everyone? Nezil, what up? Hey, Zero Dice Skill. Hope you're all well. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to be looking at this White Dwarf update today. Which is pretty simple. I think we could just dive straight in. Ziggy, thanks. Oh, thanks for donating 10 gift subscriptions and reminding me to turn the speakers off on my computer. Thanks, Ziggs. Oh, wait, who's the honest dragon ogre? Oh, thanks. Hey, if you are listening to the podcast, I hope you're well. You're driving safe. You're getting to work on time. You're having a nice lunch break. And if you're one of the YouTube thugs, thanks for leaving comments. Finger guns all day. Obviously, we're live on twitch.tv/Wargamer. You should join us every day, midday, Monday through to Friday. And just a quick bit of news update, just in case anyone doesn't remember. Tomorrow, I'll be doing a list review of the Blood Tithe lists. Blood Tithe is an event that I'll be at next weekend. It's held in London. It's teams of 4. It looks like it's going to be 140 players. So it's teams of 4, and then playing the team format, and we'll be doing the live coverage on the Honest Wargamer. All the 40k coverage is going to be on the TSN. All the Honest Wargamer coverage, all the Age of Sigmar coverage is going to be on whatever the Honest Wargamer. So if you next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, if you want a whole weekend of live coverage from the crew, you can join us for those experiences because I think it's going to be pretty fun. Thanks Ben the Dragon for subscribing. So that's one bit of news. Got that out of the way. Obviously, also thank you to everyone on Patreon. Literally, if you're on Patreon, you've got big dick energy. So thanks. Will the new books be at the event? No, the new books won't be at the event because obviously they've just been released, and in fact, they won't have had their FAQ, so they won't be available. And the lists are already in, so they won't be there. Don't go to Blood Tithe, come to Board and Brom for Rome Wars. Well, interestingly, Blood Tithe is sold out, so you can't go. So if you would like to go to somewhere, there's an event in Board and Brom. Go there. I would say don't go if you've bought a ticket because you'd be letting down your other 3 teammates. That would be a weird thing to do. Hey, Warhammer Rob, love you tons. Right, okay, let's look at this update, shall we? Boom. There's 2 tickets left, I think. What, for Blood Tithe? Right, okay, so let's look at this. Slaves to Darkness update. So we now get updates in White Dwarf, but that doesn't seem, hey, like Magnus Games Workshop. Thanks for donating £5 to the show. Whoa, that's so cool of you. Really appreciate that, thanks. So anyway, we now get updates in White Dwarf. White Dwarf is a magazine that Games Workshop produces, like it's 1973 or something. It's not one of those cool magazines where you get a toy on the front. It's just a magazine. It's just a magazine, I guess. I don't really know what else for the Zoomers listening. Magazine. It's kind of like an Instagram post. It's like an Instagram story, but on paper. Oh, no, they're not even... It's a TikTok thread on paper. So I'm going to... come play Warhammer... Okay, yeah, right. It's like a paper app. There we go. Thanks, getting it. So for Zoomers listening, it's like a paper app. And Games Workshop release one every month. You can pick them up from your local... I imagine you probably don't have a local... like magazine shop anymore. Like you can probably get it online, which is very funny that what you do is you go online to order your paper thing, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so every month they're going to be doing these updates, and thankfully it looks like they might get integrated into the app, which is pretty good. Like, they're pretty good strong. The app works. Let's throw a bone to it. The app works, which is great. So if they do integrate these in, it'll be much easier because we will have one digital space. I don't know how they validate the White Dwarf stuff. Actually, does anyone know how they put the White Dwarf stuff in? Because you have to pay for the Battletome to unlock it. Do I have to put a code in for White Dwarf to unlock? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care what the answer is. I really don't care. I'm just going to use Wikipedia. Right, anyway. Battletome Slaves to Darkness update. Here we go. So they've got core battalions, allegiance abilities. They've got something to do with Path to Glory, which I don't care about. Right, so And they've got usurpation of power, which is a battle plan they've got in here. Shilly, I'm not asking Shilly right now. Barnes & Noble sells it here in the States, and the local game store has it sometimes. Oh, nice, N.A. Brooks, that's good. It's that digital thing that doesn't update, which is exactly just digital things. Listen, let's talk about the actual fucking rule, shall we? Right, allegiance abilities. Add. So this isn't overwriting. So if you play Slaves to Darkness, you now have more allegiance abilities, which is fucking absolutely finger guns. Like, that's not finger guns. Rock horns, finger guns. This is exciting. If you play Slaves to Darkness, this is genuinely exciting. And actually, a really exciting update, just wholesale. So, Cultists of the Dark Gods is a rule. Would you like me to do my scary voice?
Most Chaos Cultists either knowingly or unwittingly bear the mark of one of the ruinous powers.
Thanks. If anyone wants to hire me for voice acting, it's £1 million. When you select an Ogroid Mimrodon, you've never seen those on the table. Dark Oath War Queen, sometimes. Dark Oath Chieftain, nope. Or Cultists, which is great. Unit to be part of a Slaves to Darkness army, you can give it one of the following marks of chaos keywords: Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, Slaanesh. And this is really exciting, right? Let's go and have a little look very quickly. Let me just use my online rules database, the Warhammer Age of Sigmar app. Let me just quickly bring that up on the screen for you guys so you guys can check this out. I should have done this before, I'm sorry. And let's go see what those marks of chaos do, because it'll be fun to talk about it. Come on, mark of chaos. I'll go find it for you. Let's pay Rob for voice acting. Cheap. Where are the battle traits? Aura of Chaos, Damn Legions, Aura of Chaos. Yeah, there we go. I've got it. Right, okay. Here we go. Oh, Russ M. RMC, thanks for resubscribing. Dave Fraser, yes! So, using my online resource here. Aura of Chaos. So, if Slaves to Darkness hero is a mark of chaos keyword, that hero has one of the following Aura of Chaos abilities. The Aura of Chaos hero has it determined by its mark of chaos. Khorne heroes have the Aura of Khorne, for example, right? So, a hero has the Aura, right? Okay. So an Aura of Khorne. So if you were to give your Slaves to Darkness units Aura of Khorne, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made by melee weapons by friendly Slaves to Darkness Khorne units wholly within 12 inches of this model. In addition, if this model is the general, add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made by melee weapons. So basically the way it works is your Aura of Chaos comes off heroes, so your troops are stronger because of the edgy auras around them. I'm sure you guys don't need me to explain this to you, but I am anyway, in case someone's new and they're watching. Yeah, so you get this little reroll bubble. Oh, not reroll bubble. You get these different aura around your heroes, and if it's the general, you get a mega aura, which is quite good, because +1 to wound is really good. Now, the one that's making like waves in the competitive scene in a minute is the Aura of Tzeentch, which is you can reroll save rolls of 1 for attacks that target friendly Slaves to Darkness Tzeentch units wholly within 12 inches. So all of the characters are already rerolling save rolls of 1 for themselves, and with save stack in and +1 save and Mystic Shield and stuff, that's becoming very effective. And then units like Varangard, which already have 3-up save, it becomes very strong on. In addition, if this model is a general, so someone like Archaon is, each time a friendly Slaves to Darkness Tzeentch unit holding in 12 inches model is affected by a spell or end a spell, you can ignore it on a 5-up. Now, that doesn't count as a ward. So if you already have a spell ignore, like Archaon does on a 4-up, it can be a 4-up and then a 5-up with reroll 1s, which is why you see this taken in the competitive community a lot at the moment, because really what you're doing is you've got 2 huge buffs, not only for your big characters, but just for generally everyone, which is nice. If someone is new, what are you doing with your life? Get some help and don't be here. Well-educated homo. I think you mean Wikipedia. I mean my online rules resource available to all is what I mean. Nurgle is pretty good. If the unmodified wound roll for an attack made by a melee weapon by a friendly Slaves to Darkness Nurgle unit within 12 inches is 6, you add 1 to the damage, which I love. I think that's pretty sexy. Does that actually stack with the 6th circle host of the Everchosen? Does anyone know? Does anyone know that? I guess I'd be the person to know. I'll check. I don't think it does. I think that would be 2 effects producing the same result, and I don't think it would work. I don't think it, because Yeah, if you had 6 to wound that did mortals and a 6 to wound that did +1 damage, you wouldn't get both, so you can't do both. So I guess that's why people don't do that. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, but +1 damage is quite nice on when you have like marauders who have tons and tons of attacks, or Knights of the Empty Throne dudes. But I guess the other one that's really good, in addition, if this mods the general, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by missile weapons that target friendly Slavestodarkness Nurgle units, which is quite nice. I like that as well. And then the Slanesh one is obviously always the worst. Slavestodarkness units, wholly within 12 inches general, is 6. It attacks. The attack scores 2 hits on the target. Maybe this isn't the worst. Maybe the corn one's the worst. This one's quite good. Exploding 6s to hit. And if it's the general, you can reroll run and charge rolls, which is quite nice. So I'm a fan of that. Generally, I am. Anyway, so that's what you get, basically. But what's cool, going back to the White Dwarf update. Hey, Dacom, thanks for subscribing. Whoa, a hype train. Yes! If you're listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube, a hype train is when people subscribe on Twitch, and then we get more emotes, the more subscribing or donations or any of that. So if you guys want to, Twitch chat want to help out with that, just let me know. Just fucking let me know. James Powell, what's going on? Does the Nurgle one stack with the Plague Bearers rule? Does the Nurgle one stack with the Plague Bearers rule? No, because it's Slaves to Darkness units, Colonel Cabbage. So it's Slaves to Darkness. If that makes sense. Like, the Aura of Chaos only affects Slaves to Darkness, so it wouldn't affect Plague Bearers, which aren't Slaves to Darkness anyway. Isn't Exploding 6s way better than reroll ones? Angle, yes, you're correct. Slanesh isn't the worst one, by a mile. So, I was wrong. There we go, look at that. Look at me. Just like, do you know what? Not the cleverest person in the room. Said something stupid. Take it back. Start again. Love you all loads. Yeah. Right, so what's cool, I guess you could stack it with some trigger on 6 abilities. Yeah. Oh, thanks MJ for donating 131 bits. Right, listen. So what's cool about this is cultist, so the cultist keyword applies to all of those Slaves to Darkness warbands. Now let's see if I've been super clever and I can do some like overlay shit for you guys, so you guys can see what the hell I'm talking about. Oh no, the Warhammer app won't open. Oh no. I was like, I prepped it all so I could show you the war scrolls on the scene, but all that had to happen was the Age of Sigmar app had to. Okay, maybe it won't open from that part on my phone. That's okay. Hold on. Is this everyone else? Just. Oh. Shit. Oh, wait, reinstall happened to me 2 times. Reinstall it? Do I have to re-log in? I'm not gonna. Anyway, you can just fucking believe me. Just keep tapping it, it will work eventually. That isn't how that works. This is disappointing. Let's clip this bit of the show. Embarrassing for me as a streamer, but that's not my fault. Like, I can't. Oh, wait! Wait! You just got to keep pressing it. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, alright, fine. Right, this would never happen with yours Wargamer Plus. Agreed. Okay. I don't believe you. Reinstall it. So we're having another App Award show. Yeah, not yet, though. Press harder. Okay, I'll try that. It just says to uninstall. Shit. Anyway, alright. The point is that... Thanks, Nurgle Matthew, for donating 50 gift subscriptions. What the fuck? Dude. Whoa, man. Thanks, dude. You've made me sweat. That's crazy. Man, thank you. That's so nice. Who got a gift subscription thanks to you? Olit, Dissident, Grumno, World of Wallington, Aaron Cruz, Snuggles, Pidgey Dibs, Hippie Chef. Oh, dude, thanks, Nurgle Matthew. I super appreciate the love, man. Hey, Nurgle Matthew, I know you're a big 40k fan. We're going to bring some amazing coverage next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Tom and Nick are going to be doing all the commentating. You're going to have a great time. So thank you for your support, and also you personally are going to have a great time next week. So, hey, Kenny Lull, I only step out of the shadow to watch Rob. I hope you're well. LGT coverage for the win, yeah. read out 50 names. I'm not reading out 50 names. Fuck off, James Powell. Right. So anyway, I'm not finishing this point off at all. This is cool because all of the Warcry warbrands are cultists. Okay, specifically, really good ones are Iron Golems, because they get to reroll saves near objectives, which is pretty fucking stonking, especially with Mystic Shield and all-out defense. Iron Golems are, like, very good, yeah? So Iron Golems with a cultist keyword is amazing, as is... with one of the Mark of the Gods is really cool, as are like Untamed Beasts, which are the units that can move up, which is really quite nice. So you've got some super cool options. Now, the Ogro Mimrodon is a terrible war scroll, unfortunately. Like, so having a Mark of Chaos is going to do nothing to it, which is a real shame because it's such a cool model. Like, arguably one of the coolest models, I think, from the Chaos range. But having it do that will do nothing. I'd show you the war scroll, but the app doesn't work. I didn't say that the app does work. I said it worked, okay? Like, it's new. It's new, right? It's new. Wait, hold on. Hold on, I think I know who's got a thought about this. Mr. Rob! Hello, everyone! Mr. Rob, it's a new app, and they're not really a app company. They make models. So, be nice about it. You idiot! Okay. Thanks, Shilly. I apologise, Shilly, for... He does sound angry, yeah? Shilly needs to chill, is what Shilly needs to do. And Shilly emotes when is the real question. Only the face shill. I apologise, Shilly. You're right. It is. They are new, and it is in beta, Shilly. So thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that a lot. But this is really exciting, and if you play Slaves to Darkness, this you could. Did you quote my tweet? Maybe. Anyway, this is cool if you play Slaves to Darkness because you can do some amazing things anyway, is what I'm trying to say. And it is a great update, like really exciting. So if I was playing Slaves to Darkness, or if I wanted to like design some cool models, the fun thing is like the model ranges that you get, like the cultists are just awesome. Do you know what? Let's go fucking find them because they're so fun. Let's Games Work. We can't use the app, so I guess we'll go gamesworkshop.com, which is probably what they want you to do anyway. Fucking Shilly is really angry lately. You need to stop riling him up. I know, Linus. It's not my fault, Linus. Imagine how livid he would have been during the 40k app launch. He'd have been really, really annoyed. Right, let's quickly go find the Slaves to Darkness, Grand Alliance Chaos, and then Slaves to Darkness. Okay, so the cool models, the super cool models, oh no, view all, that you can get are... Not cultists, not you. Look at the Mimrodon. Look how cool it is. Terrible rules. Terrible rules. But the cultists, yes. Let's go look at these bad boys. Right? They're awesome. They're just cool looking, man. So I'm really into this. So Ogro Mimrodon, amazing. Terrible war scroll though. Like, just looks rubbish. This is the top quality content that I'm with you. Give Shilly some puppet Prozac. Okay, it's not my fault. He gets mad at me. He gets mad at me when he's scary. Okay. Anyway, so he's not very good, but these guys look amazing. And what's cool is they're like not generic enough. They're weird enough that you could design, like you could 3D print or buy alternate models for stuff like this for cultists, and they look way better than Marauders, right? So you can design some super cool units. These guys are great because they got that pre-game move. So Untamed Beasts are so good. The Unmade look great. Look at those guys. They just look really, really solid. And then the Corvus Cabal here, again, is super cool. So it's actually, they're all, these boxes from Games Workshop, they're not 20 or 22 or 18. There's like, sometimes there's 9, sometimes there's 11 models in this. It's actually two lots of the same 10 or 9 or 11 or whatever. So they like double up basically inside the box. So when you are spending, like you are getting the same models twice, which if you're a kit basher, I bet this stuff would be super fun. And then Iron Golem's obviously amazing, specifically because of the fucking Chaos Dwarf. Yeah, right. Look at this little Chaos Dwarf, just like yeah. Nogel Matthew, thanks for donating a gift subscription to Knigget. You two would get on loads. Any tips for starting a Path to Glory with Slaves to Darkness at 600 points? Very new to AOS, and we're doing a campaign locally. I'm very tempted to give these guys a try. Okay, bud. I'm very sorry, Rob, everyone. I can't help you. I don't know what Path to Glory is, and I wouldn't be able to give you any suggestions. But if you wanted like a match play army that's fun, at 600 points, and you wanted to do cultists, I would pick up some Iron Golems because they've got a really cool ability that they can do, that they get reroll saves, so that's quite fun. I'm trying to be really nice about this. And then the Untamed Beasts have got a really fun pre-game move, which is also really exciting, and also would be something I'd do. I'd take those 2 units. The other stuff's fun, but that stuff's great. I'm not getting Shilly to answer it. Are you talking to a child? No! I'm just being nice to Rob everyone. He says he's new, and he asked about Path to Glory, and he doesn't know that I think that it's dumb, and he's nice, and it would be unfair for me to emotionally unload on him my disdain for it. He wants to have a great time. I'm on your side, Rob everyone. You do what the fuck you want, bud. Yeah, you do it. And if some dickhead YouTuber like me says, Path to Glory's fucking for people with chicken fillet heads, yeah, then you tell him to shut the fuck up and he's a prick. Yeah? You do it. This is getting no... I can't monetize this video. It's awful. Anyway. Nogel Matthew, thanks for donating another gift subscription to Warhammer Rob. Appreciate that. No, it's Rob everyone who I'm talking about. Looking at holding a Path to Glory campaign, might do it at your venue. Do what you want, right? Do what you want. Anyway, let's go look at this. So that's great. And then Cultist Battle Line. If you give a Cultist unit a Mark of Chaos, it has the Battle Line Battlefield Royal, and it has the Mark of Chaos. This is amazing. You no longer need to take Marauders. You no longer need to take Chaos Warriors as your, your battle line. This is cool. You get to make really fun. This also makes some very awesome Slaves to Darkness armies where you take 3 units of 9 Untamed Beasts and they get that pre-game move. They've got the Mark of Chaos. They're your battle line. They're super cheap, right? So that means you can just max out on your other stuff and you're not having to pay into Marauders, not having to pay into... this is very good. This as an update is fantastic for Slaves to Darkness, right? It gives you so many options, and it's really been the thing that we've cried out for since the book got released. So if I was... I'd be very tempted to play Slaves to Darkness now with this in mind. I think you've got loads of options. We saw AD Mac at the Super Series just pushing that Demon Prince army around, which is so successful. We saw Laurie this weekend. We saw Dave Kerr. We see a bunch of people win with Slaves to Darkness armies. To be fair, they have often contained Archaon, so it's more of an Archaon army than it is anything else. But still really exciting. Heck yeah, always happy. Shilly, Path to Glory is a great way to play a natural and competitive game. Better than the dum-dums who play tournaments. Oh, God's sakes. Mr. Rob? Path to Glory is a great way to play naturally uncompetitive games. Better than the dum-dums who play tournaments using match play rules. Thanks, Shilly. No problem. Thanks, Mr. Shilly. I really appreciate that. Working so hard not to be angry. Thanks, Shilly. Appreciate you a lot. Anyway. Cultist Battle Line. This is all good. These are all great updates. Now, the other thing you get from here, Shilly emote now. Little Linus with Shilly on this one. This is good. Right, so core battalions. You also get core battalions, and they're pretty wild. They've gone all out, right? You've got the Chaos Warband, which is great. So a Slaves to Darkness leader can be anyone. Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Manticore, Archaon, which could be Archaon. And then you've got to have 4 minimum units, so troop choices, so they're called Slaves to Darkness units, that are not a leader, a behemoth, or Varangard, right? So your knights, And it's interesting that they've specified a Varangard. It's also interesting that these core battalions now have different, different structures to the core ones, effectively. So Slaves to Darkness is different to like what we've known as troops. Yeah. So because they've specifically said no Varangard in here, so I think that this is this is cool. This is cool. Is it cool? It's complicated. I guess it's a bit of bloat. It's a little bit of bloat. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It still gets you the same core things, and that's nice. What's really nice about the core battalions is they haven't changed the benefits that you get. So you still get expert or magnificent or slayers. In this one, you get unified. So this chaos warband, which is 1 Slaves to Darkness leader, 4 units that are not a leader, behemoth, or Varangard, yeah, and then 4 additional, so optional, for a total of 8. Slaves to Darkness units that is not a leader, behemoth, or Varangard. And then if you want an optional Slaves to Darkness behemoth in here as well, which obviously is going to be a Chaos War Shrine. And for that you get unified, or you get Slayers, which is once per battle you get 1 all-out attack, or unified, which is a 1-drop deployment. Now that's awesome, because you can drop 8 units. You can have a War Shrine, and you could have Archaon or like some leader, and you could do a 1-drop battalion from this, and this is super fun. The opinions surely do not represent the honest wargamer or opinions of this wargamer. They changed the icons though. They did change the icons for the units inside it, right? Like in the warband, but they haven't changed the units for the ability icons, which is a positive. It's a combo bloat like when you stuff yourself or you can eat. Yeah, seems like Oryx Stormcast got shafted with the battalion, says Ben the Dragon. Yeah, I'm pretty certain they did. Anyway, so that's a good one because you can build some really fun armies with that. In my opinion, you can build some really fun armies with that. You can do some cool cultist battle line. You've got 8 units in there, so if you wanted to, a couple of those units could be like Chaos Knights, which you can reinforce. Now, the nice thing also is you've got those battle line units that can just be like the cultists. They're cheap. And then that means you can like spend most points on reinforcing like some Chaos Knights, which are fine. They're not great, but they're fine. Yeah, you like it's a fun little 1-drop, I think. Well, my 2-drop was. I don't think there are any Slaves to Darkness armies that are 1 leader. Ultimately, I think Linus is absolutely right, but it doesn't mean like. And maybe you do want to go down from 2 drops to 1 drop because you think that might be fairly useful inside the meta. But ultimately, like I think you can design yourself like this has opened up and has been maybe the opposite of what I think the Stormcast Eternals and the Warclans book has done. It's opened the book out so you can run a bunch of different armies, and I think that's really exciting. I really like that. The other battalion that they've got is Overlords of Chaos, which is 3 Varangard units, and then as mandatory, and then 3 optional Varangard units. So 3 mandatory Varangard, and then 3 optional Varangard. So you can take this in like Knights of the Empty Throne, if you wanted to. So something like that. If you want, it's called the Overlords of Chaos. It's fine. It's great. But that also gives you unified, so a 1-drop battalion, or it gives you expert. So which is you can either receive an all-out attack or all-out defense as well. It's not great. And not really much to write home about. But I think the Chaos Warband's a fun one, and you might see that at tournaments. And then the other things that they gave you from this were grand strategies and battle tactics. Now, I talked about this already on the show, on Monday's show, when we talked about Stormcast Eternals. But the core ones are easier to achieve. So I'm very interested to see, because we've already got a Behemoth one. Like with White Dwarf, monthly, like we now have got 4 armies that have got their own grand strategies and they've got their own battle tactics. Might not take a year for us to get everything, which is quite exciting. And then we could potentially look at tournaments not using the core grand strategies, the core battle tactics. Now, I know there was some a YouTube comment that said, and I think is a fair point, oh, Rob, it would make the list far more polarized. And maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. But I think with battle tactics being so easy to achieve at the moment, I think ultimately army strength is still probably the most prevailing and dominant factor in how we play. So having battle tactics that are more difficult to achieve, and maybe you have to polarize your army for that situation, would be quite fun. I don't know right now. Battle only does sound interesting. That's fun. Right, so Conquerors of the Mortal Realms, which is the grand strategy. So there's only 1. dominating presence. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if at least one friendly slave starters unit wholly within each large quarter of the battlefield. So, I mean, why would you do that when you could have, like, keep a battle line alive or keep a wizard alive or any of those other things? So it's fairly difficult to achieve. But if it was the only grand strategy available to Slaves to Darkness, that would make turns 4 and 5 very interesting for a Slaves to Darkness army. As it is right now, you just play a grand strategy like Prize Sorcery or something. You don't really think about it, if I'm honest. And then armies getting this in a White Dwarf suggests no book in the short term. Cabbage, in some way, you would relate. That's you already thinking two different departments are talking to each other. And then, following on from that, that is also assuming that in any way there's a plan. I would push back on that conversation a little bit. Not loads, a bit. Yeah? But anyway. Right, Triumph for Chaos. So these are the battle tactics. You've got 2 only. You've got Enthrall to Chaos, which is pick one objective on the battlefield that is within 12 inches of an enemy unit. You complete this battle tactic if there are no enemy units within 12 inches of this objective at the end of this turn. So I guess this is a bit like Conquer. Just it's called something a bit different. And what's quite nice is if you are playing Slaves to Darkness now, you get to do Conquer and you get to do this. So that's a big positive. And then you've also got Lust for Power. Pick one friendly Slaves to Darkness hero that has the Eye of the Gods keyword. You complete this battle tactic if you roll on the Eye of the Gods table for that hero during the turn, which is actually quite difficult because you have to have a hero kill a monster, another hero or monster to roll on the table. I think that's what. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's what you have to do. So that one's a fun one, like really narrative as well. It's all fun stuff. Again, harder to achieve than core battle tactics, but yeah, ultimately pretty good. And that's everything. I'd like to know what you guys in the chat think about it. And if you are watching on YouTube, obviously hit subscribe and leave some comments. And if you listen to the podcast, drink loads of water and stay hydrated. Marchettas, Rob, I have become a podcast bro since school started, and I walk with my kids in the morning. I miss our parasocial talks in the morning with my coffee. I wanted to bring this up yesterday since it's off topic. Hey, Marchettas, lovely to see you. And anyone who tunes in and listens and says hi, I hope you're all well. Thanks for being bros for a long time. You've all been amazing, and big ups forever. Big love. My point is you turned into a TikTok creeper. Oh, I turned you into a TikTok creeper. I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to. I brought darkness into my life. Okay. Dave Fraser, how do you polarize 4 Mega Gargants further? You don't, Dave. And just a little bit of a tip of the hat for when we look at the Blood Tide team formats. It's going to be a lot of Mega Gargants at that event, right? There's going to be a lot. So overall, I'm just going to say that I think excellent update for Slaves to Darkness. Specifically because they did what they did with the Idolaters release in Broken Realms, but they just gave us more options, which I'm actually really excited about. More options for Slaves to Darkness is good. Like different ways to build your armies, and more specifically, the Cultists always really should have been battle line, and I think it's a real positive step. Will we see these rules appear in the app? We would need to put in a code for White Dwarf to see them. Pete, I actually asked that question earlier, and honestly, I don't have a single clue. Like, it's pretty mad, ultimately. I don't know. If I'm honest, I don't know. And is a weird kind of setup. Need the app to open first. I think you deal with Gargants with changes safe second in the amulet, says Cabbage. Yeah, I agree with that, but right, anyway. So if you have been listening, hey, I'm going to stay online on Twitch for a bit and just talk to you guys because I just like to hang out and we could explore some things. But for a contained video for the YouTube thugs, thanks for listening. Hit subscribe, like, share it with your people. If you don't share it with someone, I hope ghosts visit you. That's what I'm going to say. Podcast homies, stay hydrated, drink loads of water. Love you.